Happy Saturday afternoon, everybody. First of all, before I start the video, I'm going to do an update on baby boy. As you know, almost 3 weeks ago, he had to have stitches again. So they came out this past Monday. It still looked a little red. They had said take the cone off in 1 to 2 days. Well, I waited until today to take it off because I wanted to make sure that we didn't have any problems and have to go back again. And of course, he wanted out right away. We were going to try to keep him in a few days, but he yowled and carried on. So his eye looked good, so we let him out. So he's out visiting the neighborhood now because he that's his thing. He loves going and seeing everybody. But he is doing well, and I thank you again for all your prayers and your thoughts and your concerns for him. We really appreciate it. So I'm going to do the winter tour of the living room, and if you see a little dust or a cobweb, please ignore it because this has kind of been not so fun, let's see, over 2 months that we've been going through this with him, and I decided I need to go on and do this video right now while things were halfway straight. So over here, this is where I always start, on the little child's chair. I have a couple little snowmen that I have had for many, many years back from craft show days. And I just set it in a little wreath. And that's my snowbird with the crown. I had to bring that out. And in the little glass box, I just put some greenery and a star. And I was going to put some lights, and I could not find any of my little sets of white lights, period. So they're not in there. Then up here, I put another set of those beautiful lights with the snow and the pine trees in them from Target. And up here, you'll see a variety of things. I have one of my little trees that I used for Christmas, but then I brought out some of my old treasures and a piece of the Polish stoneware too. This little creamer and bowl right here, that is from Syracuse China Company. Those were used in restaurants, and I've collected those creamers for years. And the little bowl would have been one. I'm not sure what they would have used that for. I don't know whether they would have set the creamer in it on the table, but anyway you go, I was lucky enough to find both pieces at a yard sale probably 20, 25 years ago. So I love that. Then the King and Queen of Hearts, those are made by H.L. Wood, made in England. And those were their, can't remember what it's called on the bottom. Let me see if I can look. They're called the Pack of Cards series. I'll show you the bottom of it. H.L. Wood in England. And we found these both at yard sales, but at 2 different yard sales. So it was a miracle that we were able to get both of them. And they are pictures. They have the handle on them. And I just think they're so unique. Then another piece of my blue and white, I just put one of the battery candles on. And the picture there, that is another Polish stoneware piece with just some pussy willows in it. And up there is all my red and white transferware again, and a little snowman. And then here are some pieces of my vintage cobalt. You've got the sugar shaker back there and the salt and pepper with the silver on the outside. And then the little heart, that's actually a Polish stoneware piece. And I just put a little candle down in the little cobalt creamer. And right here, this is a vintage Currier knives that I've had a long time. Came from a yard sale. And this is that Bob Timberlake that I showed y'all that was in the kitchen at Christmas time. And of course, all the blue and white transferware is there. I just moved the nativity, and I kept my big winter scene up. And I brought back my dough bowl with all my little shoe lasts or forms and a couple locks in there. I've told you before, but this is really one of my favorite collections. One of many favorites, I guess you could say. My white ironstone is back. And of course, those blue and white plates stay there all the time. And so does that beautiful patriotic picture that we got for, I'm thinking it was a quarter or 50 cents many years ago at a yard sale. And I brought that snow scene picture from the kitchen and put it right there. And I've got one of the pine trees in the basket. Just has some beads with it. And I just brought out a couple of my, there's a sheep and there's the cow with the chickens on it. And this beautiful candlestick we got at a yard sale many years ago also. And y'all know on this table I never do a lot because of baby boy looking out. I just brought back some of the old pictures and the little vintage bisque babies and the military figurines. And on the back of this chair, I put the Vera Bradley throw that our daughter got me last year for Christmas, because it's just the polar bears enjoying the snow. And over here, I actually put a couple of Valentine things on out because I just happened to come across them. But up here is a sweet snowman sampler. I don't know whether you can see it for the glare. And I forgot to light up that little tree. I always forget to light up something. They're all sitting in a silver tray. And the little gnomes that are dressed in their sweaters, they were still appropriate for wintertime. Don't you hate the way cores look? But with the heat duct there, it wasn't anything I could do about that. Brought my angel back. This tree will be decorated soon for Valentine's Day. And I just put a pine tree on there, an evergreen. And that little gnome, he just is a mushroom gnome, so I left him out for, I'm going to leave him out for Valentine's. A lot of my old books down are raising up the Radon birdhouses. This little vase here is another vintage piece that we picked up at a yard sale years ago. And this is a favorite little snowman. I just think he is adorable. And in John's old truck over there, just put a lantern. And this cute primitive snowman is one John just made out of scraps of wood. And he used different nuts and bolts and screws for the eyes and the buttons. And right there is an old Currier Knives Christmas plate. And in the planter, just have a snow owl. And of course, y'all saw this in a separate video yesterday. And I kept my snow scene with the church and the sheep up. And right here, I love those snow mittens. That's a thorium or thurium. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Thorium, thorium, I guess. Anyway, it's hand painted. And I've had that a long time. It came from a store that's no longer in business. And that's an old piece, the spice drawers. And that's a really old blue and white plate. And I left the snowman up, and I didn't do anything over the door yet. I'll wait until I'm doing it for spring, probably. I'll take the pine trees down, but that's about it. Okay, you'll hear the creaking stairs. All the old ginger beer bottles. And John's tobacco tins are still there. And that little crock is one that I got from a yard sale this past summer. And over here we brought back our antique tins that we've collected. Some of them are banks. The blue and white picture is another English piece. That's an old advertisement. That's another super old piece, which I just love that. And that's an old picture down there. And up here, brought back the vintage bird prints and some of the old tins. And up there is John's pride and joy, the vintage Kewpie sign that would have been in a soda shop. Okay, that is all of the living room tour. As soon as I do some straightening downstairs, I'll do the family room because it is decorated for winter too. But I hope you have a wonderful Saturday and a great rest of the weekend. Stay safe, be happy, and thanks again for all your prayers for baby boy. Till the next time.